Okay, next let's look at configuration. Specifically, let's look at data sets. Data sets allow us to manage classifications and also officer ranks. This is where that data came from. You can create as many as you want. For example, I even created one called IT staff. Classifications, and this will vary from department to department, state by state, allows you to create the various classifications on how you want to categorize an event. You can be as granular or as general as you want about it. So you would enter a classification. For example, you would say arson, and you would give it a code. So say this is code 2A. And then also you can optionally say, I want to put this in retention, meaning that the retention services on the back end will run. So once this case is created and that classification is given to them, the clock is running. So for 6 months from now, that case will be archived and then purged from the system. So we can add that to it also. Now if you create one and you turn the retention off, like in this case, you notice that the calendar is not there. That means retain it forever. It's indefinite retention. But we don't want that. We're going to just give it this. Same with ranks. You can create their different ranks and put those in there. So let's come down to camera profiles. Camera profiles allows you to specify the folder hierarchy logic of what's on these camera devices. Typically they're just like a point and shoot. They have a DSIM folder and a Media 100 folder, and by default those folders are already in there, so there's no need to add them. This would be for a case where you've got a camera which is sort of out of the norm with the folder structure. Additionally, a lot of these cameras will record GPS. The default file extensions for GPS files is typically .dat and .gps. Those again are in the system by default, so there's no need to add them. But if you do have a camera that has an additional type of extension for the GPS data, you can add that in there. So for example, I might have one that is a POS for position. So I add that, and so it'll also look for any file that is POS for position. The site camera information is specific to the site camera from HD ProTech. Since it is device driven, this is the passwords that is used when the camera is docked to connect to it, authenticate to the camera, resolve the account ownership, and download all the videos. Additionally, you can tell it to sync the camera time every time it's docked just to make sure they are synchronized. Cloud storage, Q1 2015. This is going to be a hybrid solution, not a pure cloud solution in the sense of the word, in that you can pick and choose what files you want to be synced up to the cloud so that other users outside of your network can have access to them via a web interface. This is done primarily as for economic reasons, because the cost of cloud storage can be quite expensive, not only in the storage cost but also to stream video down. A lot of people charge to stream the video. So depending on who you have hosting it, it can get quite expensive. Plus, a lot of case files will be extensive in their time that they're maintained. Some could be in there for years or indefinite, and that cost can only grow. So this is at least a means of mitigating some of that expense. Next, we'll move into the system parameters.